The long dark night of the soul. Finding that our biggest betrayer of all is the person we see looking back at us every day in the mirror. The Long Dark Night of the Soul is a production of A Voice in the Dark by Elliot. I do not consent. We follow our own truths. We believe in the human potential. 12/26/22. Understanding our own truths, beliefs about ourselves, and how limiting they are to our potential. Let us start with what triggers us. This is the easiest to find our limiting beliefs. Is it fear? Most people deny fear, especially men. They are taught to. I am, however, going to tell you that now we have to face them. If a trigger comes up and causes great anger in you, it is because you are feeling powerless in the situation at hand. This is often seen in people with political views. They cannot stop from being angry. Stems from a great concern in the world or even a neighborhood that you feel powerless to do anything about. Each person, of course, will find a different cause. The premise, however, is the same. Once tackled, it will be released from your need to carry it any longer. Conversations on the topic will just be that, conversations, not anger. We sometimes find ourselves in cycles of the same situations, work, relationships of any kind. The cycle holds a truth we need to see about ourselves. These cycles are why we are here this lifetime, to bust through, face our demons, as they say. It is our negative beliefs about ourselves. We are ready in this lifetime to address each one and let it go. Earth is an intense school where we learn through experiences to become better souls, where we take each lesson and learn something of ourselves from it. There are no set rules or standards here. We each are unique in each lifetime to experience this world. We make agreements before entering this world with soul tribes, soul families, each lifetime to learn together tough stuff, pain, sorrow, joy, strife, and struggle. How to grow and forgive. As we make it through these lessons, in the end, you will realize that the last person to forgive is yourself. This is perhaps the hardest, after all, you've been through, and how your characters seem to hide from your weaknesses, challenges, the psyche, and pain that you did not wish to take your part of the responsibility for. Looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I am sorry for abandoning you when you were hurting so bad. This will allow your being to begin looking at those things, situations that your part played, and for you to see what caused the pain, how you did not follow through somehow to bring a halt to this type of negative situations. Taking our part of the responsibility is the biggest part of healing. We can begin healing techniques to heal the inner child, so they might once again find safety in the self. Understanding ourselves is to bring forth all that we are, good, bad, and ugly, to reflect on each scenario and how it played a part in your negative beliefs about yourself, to take unwanted abuses just to be loved, to drink or do drugs or any other type of escapism, to hide from the pain of betraying oneself by allowing bad things to keep going, clinging to a need to be loved, even when there is no love, just a body next to us. These are hard to look at. When I looked at mine, shame tried to bring its heavy head upon my shoulder, but I shrugged it off. No, I don't feel shame. I feel anger. And how could a person be brought to such a low value of self? Then I looked at my whole life, and at times this happened to me. Then I had to realize that I never addressed this because of shame or guilt. When I did face it, I felt sorry for her. She was led to believe love was empty, lonely, and sometimes just fighting, never knowing how to love herself and have true value in herself. Anger and defiance are very much from not being validated when young. We must take a true look at our lives, even our younger years, where we tend to avoid as we become adults. But there is always something happening in our worlds that brings on anger and defiance. This is when we need to look at how were taught and validated by those we trusted as children. It is not easy. Was there a parent missing? Was there fighting all the time between parents? Were you shoved off onto one parent more than the other? Was there anything you did do right? Or was it always you thinking you can't do anything right? Were your dreams thought of with encouragement? Or were they destroyed as not so very good ideas? There is so much more. Find where your anger beefs up and where it doesn't. That will give you a clue. We can also find that we took on our parents' fears and their parents, etc. We can carry up to 3 to 7 generations worth of pains and fears. Be willing to accept it as not yours, then tell the universe to please take and transmute these negative energies into something good. It is not always us. Sometimes we are carrying other beliefs and negative emotions that just are not ours. Empaths. An empath is a soul who can feel others' emotions around them. Some empaths are born with their gifts. Others are forced into an empathic skill due to trauma. These skills are not taught, so as children we can and do keep others' feelings with us, not realizing we can shed them from our being. Now, many children love playing outside, as I did. I touched the trees and played in the dirt. This helped me remove unwanted negative energies that attached to my auric field. It can help you even now. That is why earthing is so important. Past lives. Some of us carry emotions and negative beliefs about ourselves from past lives. I will not argue with you on this topic. Just know that as a soul learning all these possibilities of experiences, we could not possibly get them all in one lifetime. I always suggest professional counseling as well as good hypnotherapist who has had experience in past lives. I prefer the hypnotherapist due to being able to get to the heavy situations we might have gone through. We will re-experience it as a third person observing, less to no pain involved. Spiritual gifts are many and varies in strength. It seems sexual abuse at an early stage in a person's life creates an avenue that opens up from the mind to the higher realms for spiritual gifts to begin. Again, we are not taught about these gifts, and we must, as soon as we are young adults, learn about them so you can handle them. Other forms of trauma will induce the opening of spiritual gifts as well. The most dominant one is empath. Then there are psychic senses, dreams, dream interpretation, visions, healers, and much more. This is just a small space for this subject. I'm working on a book to help others dealing with issues of the spiritual gifts. Just know again, these traumas can also be from many lifetimes. Some difficulty using your gifts may stem from a past life where you were scorned or even condemned for these gifts and using them. Heal thyself by knowing thyself and letting the past be done and gone. You are enough. Source created each of us as a unique and beautiful in his eyes. That is what counts. And when you begin to forgive yourself and begin seeing yourself as Source does, well, the journey is just about accomplished. The last thing to do is co-create and have fun. This is the time. A great time to be alive. We have everything at our disposal for healing and growth, and it is our time to play. You are enough. As long as you take breath, you have a right to take up space. Love thyself by having boundaries, by taking time for just you, and getting straight so you can enjoy playing with the creators. Blessings and love, Lori. Learn to ask questions like, why would I allow a person to say or treat me this way? Where does it stem from? As we learn to ask these questions, we will begin to see just where and how we became ill to this pattern or cycle. This is when we can release it. When we learn the lesson, the cycle or pattern, simply goes away. We no longer need to worry about pulling that type of situation into our world again. The blessings of unloading all these outdated and heavy bad feelings about ourselves is life enriching you. We'll begin to feel younger and look younger and healthier, more glowing. You will find that bad habits are actually falling to the wayside as you find new hobbies or habits that are fresh and good for you. This is the journey. We are in an exciting time because these things are being sped up in us to see and clear quickly. We are ascending as a species, and the earth herself is evolving too. Never doubt the things you know deep inside of you as truths. They may just be yours, but they're yours. You own them. In the bigger scheme of things, all there really is source in you. You with your own truths, source with the many. Never just one way to source. We are already an integral piece of source, so no separation. This is the only oneness you ever need, and you will still get to be your own being with your own truths. Judgments are only for the Most High, and we are free to be. So become that which you always felt you were meant to. Notice how the matrix and its patterns grabbed us. It's never too late to unlock and unhook ourselves and begin with your heart and go. Become. This is worth it. The work does not take that long, especially after you start feeling good about yourself fully. You want more, so it is no longer work, it's a purpose. If you have found yourself alone, which has been the normal these last few years, well, that means your soul is ready to wash away all the negatives so you might expand and finally start your purpose here. Each of us was born with a soul purpose. That is when we truly find happiness and joy in our work. You might be a businessman, but you always wanted to build things or something. Find what moves you. That is your purpose. You are never too old to get started. By the way, as you do start coming up and out like a phoenix rising or a butterfly, you will stop aging. You will become more like your younger years and feel invigorated. So do not let age stop you. Just begin. Each step will lead you to the next. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Allow yourself to heal and become your truest nature. Blessings and love, Lori. In the description, there are the hotlines for various help around the country in the United States of America, USA. Find help if you are needing it. Then begin to help yourself too. Find the hypnotherapist. Find friends and support groups. Learn to meditate. Give thanks every day. And a simple act of kindness helps us immensely in the healing process. So have at it. Love and blessings, Lori.